In today's video, I am going to be talking about how you can become an elite basketball player. Now, when it comes to being an elite basketball player, a lot of people are confused, whether it's parents or the players themselves. And you don't want to be confused, so I am going to be walking you through how you can become an elite basketball player very soon. Obviously, this takes a ton of work. You can't just look at yourself and say, well, I want to be elite, so tomorrow I'm going to be an elite basketball player. It doesn't work like that. Everyone starts from the bottom. You can't just turn it on and say, I'm an elite player today. It's not going to work. Number one is you have to put in the work. That's the easiest. And that's the part that you can control. Because now, when it comes to training and practice, if you don't have a team practice the day of whatever day it is, let's say it's a Monday, you don't have a team practice, well, guess what? You need to train. You need to get on that court and work on moves, work on finishing, layups, whatever it may be. But you need to work on something, whatever it is that you need to improve on, because if you don't have a team practice, you need to work on your own skills. That's what will make you elite. And if you're not doing that, you need to start. Because that's the part that you can control. Next is you need to work out. It doesn't matter if you are 8 years old or 18 years old. If you are stronger than your opponent, that is going to give you a massive advantage. If you are 8 years old, obviously you would want to start with body weight exercises and then build from there into actually using weights. Next is when it comes to your working out schedule, you should be doing some kind of workout every single day. So for example, if you're going to be doing a weightlifting workout on Monday, on Tuesday you might want to work on sprints and defensive slides and things like that, so that your defense can also become great. And then on Wednesday you might go back and work on your weightlifting, whether that's upper body, lower body, or both. And then the next day, work on plyometrics, body weight, get up higher, jump, work on your explosiveness. And then Friday you go back to weightlifting. Saturday you might have games, so you probably don't want to do weightlifting that day. Maybe at the end of the day you might do a little bit of a workout, whether that be plyometrics or working on your defensive slides and sprints. And then on Sunday, same thing, you'll probably have games. And if you don't, then you can do weightlifting. But if you do, you can work on plyometrics, you can work on your sprints, your defensive slides, things like that. That is going to be your body strength. And no, if you're 8 years old, you're not going to be stunting your growth. As long as you are stretching out properly, you're not doing anything that is hurting the growth plates of your bones. For example, breaking them when you're lifting the weights. That's not going to happen unless you're like 6 years old lifting up 300 pounds. Something's going to break. But if you're doing body weight exercises or using 5 or 8 pounds, you're not hurting anything, but you are building strength. Next is going to be the teams that you play on. And to be an elite basketball player, you need to play on elite teams. You can't be sitting there being on a non-competitive team, losing games, being their best player, because now you're not playing against the best. There is a massive difference between playing in on a non-competitive team in non-competitive AAU circuit games versus going up into a shoe circuit and competing and starting and being able to hang with those players. There is a massive skill difference. They're going to be more athletic. They're going to be stronger. They're going to be faster. They're going to be moving the ball faster. There is a massive, massive difference. Just between Division 1 and Division 2 here in Canada, and we're talking like 18 divisions, but just between Division 1 and Division 2, there's like a 20-point difference. That one division alone. If you stick an OBLX, which is higher than Division 1, if you stick an OBLX team going up against a Division 10 team, that OBLX team is going to wipe them by about 80 points. There is a massive, massive difference. So by having that experience, being able to play against the best and practice against the best will make you more elite. That's why there's so many players who say, why am I not ranked? Well, the reason you're not ranked is because you're playing on a team that is not playing in elite circuits. So nobody knows you, for one. But nobody who does the rankings, these random coaches who make these ranking boards, for one, they don't know you because they're not playing or coaching against you. But two, they're not playing favorites. It's because you just don't experience the best. How can they put you on a ranking board if you are not playing against the best? If you're not playing against the top 10 team in your state or a top 10 team in your country, you're not playing against the best. Which means that nobody knows you, but also nobody is going to be able to say he can definitely hang with these guys. I'll give you an example. My nephew, the videos that are playing behind me is my nephew David. Before he was ranked, he was on a team that, while occasionally played against the best and could hang with the best, they didn't consistently play against the best. Which means that the coaches who do the ranking boards didn't know who he was. This year we've moved to an organization, the Stags, who play against the best regularly. We just won the provincial championship. We are the #1 team in the province. And because it's Ontario, we are probably the #1 team in the country. So, because of that, he has experience playing against the best. In this case, kids who are a year older than him. And he started on that team. So, what does that make him? Well, in my mind, he's a top 3 player in Canada for his age. He's a 2029. However, on most of the coaching ranking boards, because he's still kind of new to the scene when it comes to the elite level, he is anywhere between 5 and 13-ish. On some ESPN board, he's in like the top 20, but overall, on most ranking boards, he is a top 10, and in my opinion, on my ranking board, I have number 3. Because there's 2 guys who are just insane, and he's never played against those guys. So how can I say that he's better than them if he has never played against them? So this is what makes you elite. You have to practice every day. Just like my nephew, if he's not got a team practice, he's training himself. I'm training him, he's training himself. Somebody is training somebody. And let's say, for example, tonight. We have an hour-and-a-half practice tonight, and then right after that practice, we're going to work on plyometrics. And then he's going to go home, and he has a weightlifting session at home. So, those 3 workouts, all tonight. Now, let's say it comes to Thursday. Thursday, he has no practice. He's going to do plyometrics, and then when he goes home, he's going to work on his skills on the basketball court. And then, when he gets home from that, he is then going to have weightlifting on a day off, which is fantastic. Now, when you start looking at yourself and say, man, I only go to practice twice a week, or if you're one of those players who plays AAU and your AAU team only practices once a week and you might only go to 1 practice a month, and the rest of the time you're not really working on your game, and I don't mean going to the park and playing 3-on-3 pickup with somebody. That's not really doing a ton for you, unless those are elite players that you're playing against. Most of the time when you go to the park or you go to the YMCA, you're playing against guys who just never played basketball before. So, well, how much are you really improving? So, that is what makes you elite. Your work ethic, but one thing I haven't even mentioned yet is your mindset. Your mindset has to be, hey, I haven't done enough today. You go to bed, man, I could have done more. You wake up in the morning, I am going to get 1% better. And whether you did 3 practices that day or not, you go to bed, you still think I didn't do enough. That's an elite mindset. So, anyways, I hope that this has helped. Anyways, I'll see you guys again in my next video.